Hi, I'm designer Bevin Dunn for Digital Ginger, my design company, and today we'll be doing a demonstration and tutorial for using one of my embellishment kits with Memory Mixer software. Today we'll be using one of my new embellishment packs called Stenciled Journaling, and these are a set of 5 journal areas. They have kind of a grungy stenciled look to them, so they're very fun to use. And what's a little bit different about them is that they come in 7 colors. I decided that I wanted to give you a way to mix and match these journaling areas to match any layout that you're working on. So rather than give you every color under the rainbow, I'm just giving you a select set. And you might remember from kindergarten your mixing of colors. So if you need an orange, you can mix a yellow and a red together. And if you need a brown, well, I'll show you how to do that too. Now, to follow along, you would need a copy of Memory Mixer software, which you can find at the Memory Mixer store, memorymixer.com. And in their shop, you can download additional pieces of artwork, and you can type in Bevin in the search box or Stenciled Journaling in the search box, and you should be able to find this embellishment pack. Now, the particular colors that I gave you are the red, yellow, and blue, black and white, and then also cyan and magenta. And you might recognize some of these colors if you've got multiple ink tanks in your printer. These are the names of some of them that you have. Now, I gave you a color chart. It's included with the quick mix, with the embellishment pack, and it looks a little complicated right now, but I just wanted to give you some ideas of what the colors would look like, because there's 2 blues and 2 red colors, so you can get various purples or various greens, and if you need a little help or a little inspiration, this chart's there to help you. To show you what we'll be doing today, I'll be doing 4 layouts, and the first layout will be creating a lighter version of a color to match the pink in her skirt here. We'll be making a darker version of a color, so here I've got a dark red to match the dark red in leaves. We'll be creating a new color that doesn't exist in the embellishment pack as it comes, so we'll be creating an orange. And in this case, a little more complicated color, we'll be creating a brown. And as we go, we'll see a couple other tips and tricks for sizing and aligning. So here we are in Memory Mixer software, and I'm on my very first layout. Now this is actually a layout that comes in a quick mix called Photographer's Notebook, where you can also get some of the black and white versions of the journal areas. Now in this case, I'd really like to color this journal area to match the sort of pink color in her skirt and the red in her sunglasses without it being too bright. So I've already got white there, and I'm going to leave it because what I want is a lighter version of the red that comes with the kit. So I'm going to click on Embellishments, the tab over to the left, or you could use the button at the top, and I'm going to add an embellishment. I'll go to Journal 1, which is the bracket journal, and I'm going to scroll down until I see the red, and I'm going to click OK. This is going to put a red version right in the middle of my layout. Now, what I need to do to start working with these together, mixing the colors, is getting them right on top of each other. I need them to align perfectly. And there is a way to do that. If you hold the Shift key down on your keyboard, you can select multiple items at the same time. So I'm going to hold the Shift key. I've already got the red selected, and I'll click on the white. And you'll notice the gray selection boxes should appear for both objects. Up at the top on your toolbar, there's actually an Align Objects button. Now, top, middle, and bottom, left, center, and right sounds like a lot of different words, but it's really not complicated to understand. If you want the top edges of all your objects to line up, you click top. If you want the bottom, you click bottom. If you want to line them up by their sort of middle axis, you can click middle. They're pretty close here. They're not probably perfectly aligned, so I'm going to click middle. See, they move a little bit. But I also need them to align from right to left, and so there's another set of options for that, and I'm going to click center. So now I have both axes lined up, and it has moved a little bit on my page, so I just have to tap it over a little bit till it matches my journaling a little bit better. Now, it already having the white beneath the red, you can tell that it looks a little bit lighter, which is perfect, but not quite perfect for this layout. So what I need to do is select only the red. I need to click away from both of those because I don't want to touch both of them at the same time. I just want to click back on the red version. That way when I go to the opacity slider, which I'm going to move down and make this a little more see-through, then I can get a little bit lighter color. So here at around 30%, I get a nice kind of blush color that perfectly matches the blush in her skirt. Well, let's go on to the next layout. Now in this layout, I want to create a darker version of a color, and I want to create a red that matches the red in the Urban Garden paper that I've chosen, and that's also in the Memory Mixer store. So I'm going to add an embellishment, and in this case I'm going to add Journal 3. It's sort of a fun circle embellishment, and there's a red, so I'm going to click OK. The embellishment is a little bigger than I want, so I'm going to drag the size down a little bit, drag a corner area. The red is a little lighter than I want, or a little brighter. I do want to match that darker red, so if I mix a black and instead of a white, I can darken this color. So add an embellishment, and I'll add black, and OK. Now this time when I put in the embellishment, it's going to be bigger than the previous one because I've already resized it. Now in order for our blending to work correctly, they have to be exactly the same size and exactly aligned. So how do I make them the same size now that I've already changed one? That's not hard to do. If I double click on the red, it will actually tell me in the object settings the height and the width. I only need to look at one of the numbers. The first one says 220. You can remember that. And I'll go double click on the black object, and I'm going to type in 220 so that the width is the same. Because the key proportion is checkmarked, then the height will also become the same. So I don't even need to know what that number is. And I'll just hit enter. Now they are both the same size. I'm going to shift click on each object so that they're both selected. Make sure I've got my shift down. There we go. And I'm going to go to align the middle and then align the centers. I'll tab it over to the position that I want it in, and it's a little bit dark. The black doesn't have any opacity, so I'm going to deselect and then just reselect the top one, bring the opacity down, maybe around 35. Great, that darkens the red up, it matches the layout now. And the last step is just to bring that photograph to the front. So I'll go to the layers and say bring to the front. Now in this layout, I want to create an orange color to match the orange in the photograph. Now, orange doesn't come in the embellishment kit, but we know if we mix red and yellow, we can get an orange color. So I've already placed a red version of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 journal area and a yellow version. And neither color by themselves is exactly what I'm looking for, so I'm going to shift click to align these quickly. Align the middle, align the center. And yeah, actually without any opacity at all, it starts to look more orange in color. The yellow is still a little bright, so I'm going to click away and click back once on the yellow and bring that opacity down. That's a little far, maybe around 70%. And it becomes a great orange color. Let's go on to the next. Now in this last layout, we need to mix a brown color. And to do that, we'll use 3 instead of 2. Now, we've got the red and yellow, which we know makes orange. And if we add some black to that, we can darken it up enough that we get a nice rich brown color. Everything else is the same, but I'll also add a little bit of grouping to this, so as we move the object around, we don't have to keep realigning the pieces. I've already got the red, black, and yellow, and another thing is that I want to rotate these objects before I start using them, because once you group things together, you can't rotate it afterwards. So I'm going to rotate the black, the red 90 degrees to the left, and the yellow 90 degrees to the left. And there's an easy button for that in the left. I also know the opacities that I want ahead of time. I'm going to leave the black at 100%. I'm going to put the yellow and the red down at around 33%. And by themselves, they don't show up much, but once we mix these three colors by shift clicking on all three, 1, 2, 3, and using our align button, align the middle and align the centers, instantly we get this great brown color. Now before clicking on anything else, I've got all three selected right now, they're just perfectly aligned. I'm going to go up to the Arrange menu and click Group. This way they're sort of permanently stuck together as I'm working. I shouldn't say permanent, you can undo or ungroup up in the same menu too, but as I'm working they're not going to spread apart. I've got them in place and my layout's complete. If you have not registered your copy of Memory Mixer software, you can go to memorymixer.com/registration, enter the promo code you see here, and they'll send you a 30% off coupon for an item in their shop. Thanks for watching.